Hello, my name is Cynthia Vanucci, and I am your professor for the Hospitality and Travel Marketing class for the HTE department for fall 2017. Welcome to video instruction. This is my first time putting the video available for the marketing class in an online format for fall. So this class will be a little longer than my previous summer classes. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get started and go over the syllabus. So I'm your professor, and I'm going to drag that cursor over there so you can see my office number and my cell number and the fax number and my office. Yeah, I actually give you guys my cell number. Please feel free to text or call me. If you do text, would you put your name and the marketing class section, your section 2. It does say up here on the syllabus section 1, but that's incorrect. It's section 2. And if you call me, please don't call me after 9 p.m. because actually my husband and I were kind of, getting ready for the bed and reading the books, then the bedside, and I'm trying to wind down. Over here are the office hours. I have office hours Tuesday and Wednesday this fall semester of 2015 from 11 in the morning until 1:30. My last appointment is at 1, is over at 1:30. Over here is the online class schedule. It looks like my picture is kind of hovering over it a little bit. Class starts on August 21st, ends December 11th with an online exam. We're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Let's hope it goes nicely. So here's the course description. So this is the only time you're going to have a marketing class in the HTE department, unless, of course, you are minoring in marketing, in which case this class will be a real complement to your minor. So I have to teach you guys marketing principles in 20 chapters in essentially about 12 to 13 weeks, because remember, we have a Labor Day holiday, you have a midterm, you have a final, you have a fall break, so there's not a lot of time to shove all this information in your brains. Forgive me for giving you so much, but personally, with only one marketing class and people get degrees in marketing, it's the best we can do. So happy reading. And there's a lot of homework, but it's designed to keep you on track and to keep you learning the material. So we're going to talk about principles of marketing. We're going to talk a little bit about advertising, the specific needs for hotel, restaurant, tourism, and events industry. You'll conduct field work via your chapter assignment questions and presentations, and we'll analyze particular marketing concepts via current events and answering review questions. Strolling on down to the next section. Yep, there's a textbook. Oh, of course, I can't get this to scroll down nicely. The required textbook is called Hospitality and Travel Marketing by Alistair M. Morrison, Del Mar Publishing, New York, New York. I haven't changed the edition now for 2.5 years, so you should be able to get this book for a pretty good price. Teaching philosophy really has 3 parts. I want you to control your academics to navigate you towards a career. I want you to be able to individualize the student learning process. Therefore, I don't give a lot of group work. There is no group work in this class. And I want to be able to be there as an advisor and serve as your coach. And let's not forget that everybody has a different learning experience, even if it is online, but we want to grow your confidence and your general knowledge in the field of study, in this case, marketing. Let's take a look at those course objectives. There's 4 of them. And we want you to be able to define service marketing concepts. We want to analyze trends through your current events that you'll be pulling each week. And we want to examine market feasibility for companies to see, does it make sense to do certain marketing programs for a company? And of course, we'll be reviewing through your chapter presentations, promotion, and advertising. So this class has 6 portions to it. The first portion is you'll take a quiz every week. I have no problem if you take quizzes as a group. Just remember, you're still responsible for your answer. There's 20 of them because there's 20 chapters, and that would be 1 quiz per chapter. It represents 14% of your grade. So kind of pace yourself as to when you're going to not take a quiz for any reason. Let me just say for the record that there is over here in the point totals, there's a 10% spread between 1,235 points and 1,112, 1,111, and 988. So can you miss a quiz or two? Sure you can, but you need to pace it. because the truth is that it's only 10%. So you could end up finding yourself in a position that, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I do better in other sections. All right, so let's go to this one section here called the chapter review discussion questions. So chapter review questions are found at the end of your textbook, and not the end of the text, at the end of the chapter in your textbook. So each chapter has about 8 to 10 review questions that you're allowed to choose. You choose the question you want to answer. Important, though, here is that you must find an accompanying current event article supporting information that helps to support the answer from the textbook, because anybody can spit out an answer from a textbook. You just go to the page. What I want to make sure you understand is, how does it affect your answer in terms of the hotel business, the restaurant business, or the events business? You are going to have to literally find a hospitality article that supports the question. And the grading rubric is very clear. And it's 20 points. It's saying 9 points for you to answer the question and 9 points for you to demonstrate the relationship between what the article has to say and how you answered your question. Okay, let's get to this section here, because it's just a one-time shot, and that is your chapter assignment presentation. That's right, we'll be presenting just like I'm talking to you on YouTube here via Screencast-O-Matic software. YouTube will load a 15-minute video answering a chapter assignment presentation question. All right, so at the end of your chapter, just like the chapter review questions, there are 4 questions that are more in depth. They have embedded in them maybe 5, 7 different little questions, and those little questions you need to answer in a presentation with supporting information, at least 3 sources, an article, a quick minute or 2-minute video. We're looking for 3 outside support other than your discussion. So you will be assigned a chapter, as a matter of fact, about 2 weeks before school starts, which would be about August, I want to say that would be about August 8, August 7, 8, 9, around there. I'm going to be sending to you via email your chapter assignment, not the question, but the chapter. So I'm going to literally print off the roster. I'm going to cut off little pieces of paper, put them in a hat, and pull them out. So it could be someone is chapter 1, then I choose a chapter 2, but I'll outline that in an email for you. I just want you to get ready, especially those people who have chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 to present, because we get started right away. Now, this is a solo venture. It's just you presenting, not in group work. And you notice it's worth 235 points. There's a lot of instruction in the rubric, and the rubric will be posted in Blackboard. So you will know how it's to be done. In addition, though, you'll have it a few weeks prior, so you can be reviewing your material and getting ready to answer that question. Now, what makes this class, I think, kind of interesting, of course, that's a Vannucci bias. What makes it interesting is, so you will get lectures, but it'll be from your colleagues. So students who are presenting on Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, 5, all the way through Chapter 20, you're going to be watching them and doing a peer evaluation response to the chapter presentation. So it's a 2-part. It's worth 10 points, 5 points for Section A, 5 points for Section B. Section A consists of what were the 5 key concepts you took from the student presentation, and Section B tells us, well, what did you take away from this? Other than the concepts, there's something unique that you took away from their presentation. So you'll watch 20 videos. Okay, so what does that mean? If we have 32 students in a class, there's going to be some chapters that are duplicated. And usually the duplications appear in the earlier portion of the semester when you guys got a lot of oomph and steam, because right after midterm, it's like you're over this and you just are the slippery slope out. So I try to duplicate those efforts before midterm. So you'll be watching more presentations the first 8 weeks of the semester versus the last 8 weeks. Okay? Now those are worth 200 points. 10 points. It's worth a total of 200 points, and you'll see 20 videos. Remember, only select one. You don't have to, if there are 2 chapter 8s, you only have to choose one student to watch their chapter 8 presentation. We do have a midterm, and that is over chapters 1 through 10. We do have a final. It's over chapters 11 through 20, which brings us to our 1,235 points. So between 1,112 and 1,235 is an A. 10% spread. We go down for a B as 1,111 points to 988, 987 to 865 for a C, 864 to 741 for a D, and anything below that, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. And if you feel you're on the slippery slope and it's not going to work, come see me. Many times we can talk about it incomplete depending on what are the circumstances. Remember, I don't curve. So if you have 1,111 points, you're going to get a B. All right? Why do I do that? Because I permit extra credit in this class. So if you see that you've missed a couple of quizzes and you want to make sure you're in that A range, I do give out extra credit. The extra credit is for community service work that must be pre-approved and must be sanctioned. In other words, a professor has to be doing it with you, or it has to be someone that I know that I can call up and verify that you did indeed do so many extra credit hours. I give 5 points for an hour for extra credit. Okay, so I've done research on academic integrity. And so the way this class is designed, really, you really can't cheat. If you decide to do group work and quizzes, good luck with that, because they're timed and it's hard to do them together. And besides, people always influence you and try to change your answer. Same thing with the exam. It's timed. It's only 2 hours, and basically giving you only essentially about 2 minutes, minute and a half per question. There's no time for discussion. Your midterm and your final, though, good news is it's all over your quizzes. So it's kind of like it's replicating just to make sure you're getting those concepts down. So pay attention to your quizzes, because your midterm and your final exams are developed from the quizzes. Okay, so there's also a link that talks about what's academic dishonesty. Shall we go on down here to, and it's not moving for me, of course not. If you have students with disability, please contact the Access Center. Offices are over in the Plaza building, and there's their telephone number, and here's their link. Here's the assignments that we've already discussed: 20 quizzes, 10 points each, review questions worth 20 points. Remember, on the grade spread, I believe it said it was only 200, but it's 400 points. So let's just make sure we are clear on that. It's worth a total of 400 points. There's your midterm worth 100 points, your final worth 100 points. Once again, that midterm, chapters 1 through 10, the final exam, chapters 11 through 20. Alrighty, there's a video information, and additional instruction will be provided to you on how to upload your YouTube video via Screencast-O-Matic. Alright, remember we also talked about the responses to student presentations. This is really exciting for me. There's a little notation, there's an error here in the point total. I will get that corrected for you. But remember, you're watching your fellow students give a presentation, and it's very helpful because it's like a form of lecture. And most students do such a great creative job. They're much more interesting than your professor is. Administrative policies are all found on this page here, from withdrawal to contact issues, incomplete, the student email policy. Please remember, on the student email policy, it's MSU Denver's email, so not Silver Duckies at 998.whatever.hotmail.com. Okay, class schedule, pretty forthcoming. I've got about 30 seconds remaining, so I would tell you that all the dates here are for you, because what students want to know is, when's it due? How do I get an A? And this should give you a sense of all of the assignments. Upload your student data sheet, extra credit form, and here are all of your rubrics for the assignments. They'll also be found in your Blackboard account, but I like to have everything in your syllabus. Okay, I have 10 seconds remaining. I just want you to know what a pleasure it is to have you in class. We'll be talking with you this fall. Have fun. Bye now.